I want to point out something very important. They talk about URP workers and Cepep workers. Ask them if you know how much Cepep workers used to get paid. Ask them if they know how much URP workers used to get paid. Madam Deputy Speaker, that was slavery. When you work Cepep, you work in the hot sun. By the time you get paid, you buy a bread and a soft drink for your children, and that is it, money done. We are paying the lowest paid worker here gets $209. That is the laborers. Per day. Per day. Ask them how much Cepep used to get. The supervisors are getting $249 per day. And they are doing real work. You are seeing the productivity. But they cannot criticize that, And I don't know who they think will believe them. Because when they say that the URP program had no criminal element in it, who believes that? That is a total falsehood. Not one of them could say that and believe it. Not one of them. We all know that the smallest child in Trinidad and Tobago knows that the URP program was riddled with criminal elements. They know that. And you know what they did? They used the URP program to quiet the gangs. They are the ones who gave ghost gangs the criminal elements so that they could walk in those areas for election. Madam Speaker, I have more. In the lead up to the general election, they had 2 teams of workers, 10 workers each working in the URP compound. In the lead up to the election, you know how many people were rostered to clean the URP compound? The URP compound must be big like this chamber. You know how much people were rostered there? 200 persons. 200 persons cannot even stand up in that yard, but 200 people were rostered to work. So when you want to talk about these programs, talk about how you facilitated the criminal element. Don't pretend as though you were supporting single mothers. There are single mothers who benefited, but the PNM and the criminal elements were running the place. And there are police investigations going on even now. There was one particular person who was taken in for questioning, who had 20 cards on him.
How much?
20 URP cards. So there is 20 persons who are not getting a pay. When they talk about thousands, there were several persons who were doing that. That is a crime. That is fraud. And Madam Speaker, there was more. So I'm saying that this government has a task to clean up the corruption that was going on, and we are doing it. We are in the process of wrapping up the URP program. We are securing the assets of the URP. Some of those buildings are being put to use in other places. Very recently, the Princestown URP office was utilized for the fire services of Trinidad and Tobago. Because you know why? Under the PNM, the Princestown fire station in a mess, dilapidated landslip, no fire tender, falling apart, and they never fixed it. Never. When we came into government, our Prime Minister delivered 9 fire tenders to go to different stations, and one was in Princestown. And we provided them with a temporary office, which was the former URP office. There are proposals for other buildings as well, which include spaces for municipal police, requests from other ministries, which this government will continue to consider. We are also utilizing the tools and other equipment that was there. And I even want to go and talk about the inventory at URP now, but that is for another story. He might have some more persons held for questioning. Right? So don't come and criticize this program. Yes, there are hiccups, but what I could tell you is you don't have ghosts, you don't have criminals, you don't have government ministers, brothers and sisters getting big contracts. You don't have that. Because that is what used to happen before. That is what used to happen. So now we have cut out the middleman, and the money goes directly to real people who are doing real work.